Every time we did it, I loved you more and more. I thought I was special. Then you gonna turn around and leave me?
Nona, how you doing?
I'm good, Bishop. That was a good word.
Y'all pulled on God. God pulled on me. How's everything with you, Carl?
Good.
Several things. One, I grew up in the church, and so I was exposed to sort of the good and the bad side of it. And I know a lot of people that have been molested, not just by clergymen, but just in general. And so those stories, as a teenager hearing those stories, they sort of always just sort of lived in me. I didn't know I would make a film about them. I didn't know what I would do with them, but I just knew they were there. And one day I was watching TV and I came across a documentary called Deliver Us from Evil. And in that documentary, you saw a priest who had molested, I think, 50 or more kids. And it was interesting because for me that was the first time I had really seen a pedophile. They didn't excuse him, but he was humanized. You sort of understood the backstory. You understood his own past of sexual abuse. You got a sense that he was told to be silent, that he was told that this is something he shouldn't talk about until he turns around and he sort of inflicts the same pain on others. And then on the flip side of that, you also saw the family, and you saw how, because of the abuse on the children, how the families sort of fell out with one another, how the children were still suffering with the trauma from the abuse. And so I wanted to sort of tell a story that entailed all of those things, plus the things.
Just for a few days.
Your daddy loves you. He's just trying to make a better life for us.
Hey, Carl.
Hey.
The saying, only the strong survive, embodies in a nutshell how wolves choose their prey.
You won't hurt me no more.
You anything about this? The Jordan the day before and the Jordan after this experience?
Yeesh. It changed me in so many different ways. I remember the only way I could get a chance to act is if I'd stole my mom's camera and dressed up and played all the characters.
Right.
So it was a very different experience for me. And being with these people, everybody in the cast, it's just, I remember one scene, I just had to lay in the hospital bed and Miss Hall and Mr. Lee were on the other side, and I just had to look up and say, thank you, Lord. Because from being in my living room, putting on home plays for my parents, now I'm in a motion picture playing this wonderful role with these wonderful people. So it's a blessing. That's all I can say it is, that somebody gave me a chance to do what I know I knew how to do. And I hope I get many more chances, even with Yaki. But it truly was a blessing. I'm glad I got to share my gift with other people, and other people say thank you. I'm glad. That's what, like they were saying, that's what it's all about. That's all I want. That's all I want, is for somebody to be healed, for somebody to think about what they do before they do it, for somebody to forgive somebody else. I feel like we as artists, our job is to inspire. Inspire to live, inspire to love, inspire to forgive. Inspire. That's the one word that sums everything up for me.
So you
Life! Now!
We've all made mistakes. Don't go putting God's business in the street.
This perversion has eaten away at you because you haven't dealt with it properly.
Oh, yeah, devil, you letting him go.
Why are you defending him?
Take this blackness from my heart.
There's not enough evidence to move forward in your case.
The enemy ain't lurking in those shadows, Grandmama. He's right there in our face, laying his disgusting hands on us every day.
He also feels guilty. The dad feels guilty that he hasn't been there. The mom might feel guilty because she's going to school and she has other things going on in her life. So I feel like everyone is kind of carrying some kind of guilt, and at the end, they just kind of let it go.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's why the father is, he's such an... It's not just anger. I mean, it comes off as anger, but it's so much guilt inside of him, and that's just how he, knows how to express it. But he feels bad because he hasn't been a father. And he allowed a man who he trusted, who he thought had his son's best interest at heart, come in and be the father that he should have been, all the while the man was abusing his son. And even from the mother, it's like I've been so wrapped up in my own education and not really paying attention, there's a scene that I cut where she says, you know, I think she says, the hell of a psychologist I'm going to be. I should have saw the signs. I should have looked around and saw this. But I was just so involved in what I was doing that I didn't look out and see that my son was crying out for help. And so I think everybody there's guilt all over the place. You know, the thing that I wanted to do with this film was not point fingers at any one person. I think we all play a part in this. Right? We need to be more watchful over our children. We need to watch that. We can't make our pastors or our ministers our gods, because they're not. There is only one God. And the minute you start making a man your God, the minute he betrays you, it shatters you, because he shouldn't have been your God in the first place. And so there's just guilt all the way around. And so I think everybody in this film has to get that stuff off of their shoulders in order for them to move forward.
That's what I like about the end. I don't know if you're familiar with his work, and even in his shorts, he never wrapped everything up in a pretty bow and was like, here, this is the end. It's not like that, you know. And to me, in the end, it's not the end, you know, at the end of the film. And I think it would do a disservice to his audience if, you know, he wrapped it up and like, they're fine, because that's not true. You know, the family can't get over it, you know, because it's been a little time and they've gone to church. It takes time, and that's what I love about the end. It shows the family's on its way, but they're not there yet.